one of the trainers at the Maryland SPCA. So we've got Brody, this little guy here, and Carly, that old gal there. And we wanted to talk to you all about how dogs communicate. And they communicate a lot through body language. If we had to break it down, I would say it would be, if you had to put it into two piles, comfortable body language, knowing when your dog is comfortable, uncomfortable body language.
Yeah.
So what would you say would be comfortable body language?
So if you think about us when we're comfortable, we're going to be nice and loose. We're not going to be tension. Yeah. So his eyes are really soft and squinty. He is, despite the fact that his jaw is closed, there's not tension there. Good girl.
That was really nice.
And her jaw is nice and relaxed. Her ears are not upright and really perked and forward. They're just kind of hanging there. So Brody here can be a little bit reactive at the fence. So one of the first things that I notice is his ears shift forward. He gets really forward, tall, a little bit stiff, and he'll do a low little growl. So sometimes the communication is not always just purely body language, but also vocalizations as well. So one of the things that I look for one, is is my dog actually enjoying what I'm doing to them? Yeah. So one thing that you can easily do to kind of decide whether or not your dog is actually enjoying the physical interaction you're giving them is to briefly pause for a few seconds and see if they move away or re-engage, turn their head. A lot of dogs, if they're not very comfortable, are going to pause and maybe create distance or just simply shift their weight slightly away from you.
Oh, like Carly just did. She ducked her head. I went to touch her, and she ducked her head. Yeah.
And if she had been, really wanting interaction there, she would have stayed put. So Bird is choosing right now to be near me, but I haven't been interacting with him physically so far. So I'm just going to kind of give him some scratches. He usually likes ear rubs, and I'm going to pause and see what he does. Really nothing. So he's not moving away.
You can take it or leave it.
Right now he's kind of more interested in the smells and the environment. He's scanning the fence line for any dogs walking past. But he also didn't move away from me. So consent-wise, he's not really telling me he didn't enjoy it, but he's also not telling me that he wants me to keep doing that. So,
he can live with or without it.
Good.
I guess we call that the consent test, right? When they're saying yes, please continue petting. I really like the way that felt. Or no means no. You want to come to Mama? She's like, no. But Brody came. Ultra good boy. So here we go. 1001, 1002. Oh, and then he turned away. So the look away is a great body language. It's a great way dogs communicate to us that can you please stop doing what you're doing? Yeah. And they'll do that to one another. You'll see they'll look away, and that's just really step one, like please don't proceed, but we ignore it a lot of times. So she's my dog, so I'm not quite sure. So what do people do? They'll come in closer. Hi, bubbies. And she looked away, didn't she? So she did not want my face near her. She was tolerating it, and she's very kind about it, but she looked away. Go, Birdie. Of course, they all leave.
So, in a moment, we're going to see a dog version of a consent test. So again, that consent test is seeing whether or not another dog wants to interact. So they're all kind of doing their thing off leash now, a little more organic. And here we see some interactions happening. And right now, they're all kind of engaged in some play. So sometimes even in the start of play, when they're really engaging and having a great time, all of a sudden, you might notice that a dog gives a little growl or moves away. That is their way of saying, hey, I need a little break. And sometimes another dog might not necessarily respond the first time around. A good thing to do is to do a doggy consent test. So maybe if, for example, Brody here is being a little bit of a pest towards the other two, I hold him for just a moment and let the others decide whether or not they want to approach. So that is a great way of determining whether or not they're still enjoying the interaction and if we can continue to play or give them a little break. So he's turning his head away a little bit. Yeah, that's really good.
So he's moving away.
Yep.
Yeah, and then she walked away. She got the clue.
Margie.
That was great.
That was really